Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So the festival season in India is about to begin. It typically lasts from September all the way till December. And during this phase, statistically speaking, it is seen that the markets tend to rally. This happens not only in India, but also in the US, where markets typically rally in December and it is called as the Santa Claus rally. I have started to get a lot of messages that, Akshat, I have a genius idea that I will go and buy or invest in gold or buy something like Titan. Diwali ke time pe there will be sales rise on Titan and I will make crazy amount of money. Why? That is a very amateur way of investing in the stock market because everyone knows when Diwali is. Now, operator can play around with your sentiments. They might jack up the stock much earlier or might jack up the stock after Diwali. So knowing the fundamentals, technicals, macroeconomics behind all these festive season stocks becomes extremely critical for you. So that is the precise piece of conversation I am going to have with you today, that I am going to discuss 6-7 good festive season stocks which are at a good aggregation level as per my understanding. So I will explain it to you in very simple terms. Do press the like button. It will indicate to me that you would want me to make these type of videos. कोई GST नहीं लगता in terms of pressing the like button. So please press it once. I know that you haven't done it. So please press it once and we will kickstart the video. Now I also know that many of you might be watching this video to make money during the festive season bet. Now another good way of making money is to upskill yourself, especially around trending skills. One such trending skill is to learn about ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. It is shaping the way the entire world works, how your career is going to shape up from this viewpoint. So that brings me to the partners of today's video, which is Growth School. They are an excellent platform to learn about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. They run a power-packed 3-hour workshop on mastering ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. This workshop is conducted by Vaibhav Sisanti, who is the founder of Growth School and is a good friend of mine. I have requested him to do this workshop again for free, absolutely for free, for the viewers who are watching this video and who would use the link in the description and comment box to sign up. First 1000 students can attend this workshop for free. On this workshop, you will learn about ChatGPT and AI prompts. This can transform your career, whether you are a content creator, whether you are an engineer, whether you generally want to be more aware about how AI can shape different career paths. Definitely consider attending this workshop. Growth School is an excellent upskilling platform and it has been invested into by Mr. Kunal Shah, who is a very famous investor, and a bunch of other top VCs. Growth School allows people to reach into top 1% in their intended field of study, and they have coached roughly 500,000 students. So do check out their workshop on AI and ChatGPT. The link is given in the description and comment box, and it will be free for the first 1000 students who sign up using the links. So with that said, let's move on to the main video. So okay, the first set of stocks that I'm going to speak about are home decor / paint stocks. Now, everyone understands that during Diwali season or before festival or even after festival, people typically paint their houses. Paint ki sales बढ़ती है in that quarter. This gets reflected and the stock is likely to go up within 2 to 3 quarters from there, right? So this is the first key point that you need to understand. I'm not saying that time it as per Diwali here, but I am asking you to take a slightly more general viewpoint. This Diwali season might be a great trigger for increased sales growth and also a push from operators in order to grow the stock prices. So with that spirit in mind, let me first and foremost talk about the most famous paint stock, which is Asian Paints. So let me quickly comment on this. Where am I sitting on this? Am I buying more? Okay, so let me discuss all those points. So see, first and foremost, you need to understand the behavior of the stock, right? So if you see the entire history from, let's say, 11th July 2011 all the way till 2013. So in 2 years, the stock did not do much. Then there was a rally. Then again, during this period, this is 1.5 years, again, almost like 0% return here. Then again, 0% return here. Here was a rally. So what type of a price rise pattern is it exhibiting? Well, it's a start-stop type of a pattern that is being exhibited. In simple term, it means that the stock does not give any run up for 1.5 years. Then it rallies. Then again, it rests for 1.5, 2 years. Then it rallies. Then it again stops and then it rallies. So where are we in this start-stop game as of now? So let me just quickly show that to you. So if you study the stock from here all the way from September of 21, and almost September hi ho gaya. So 2 years, how much returns have you made on Asian Paints? The answer is 0% returns. So, okay, so if we go by history, then it is quite likely that the stock might rally. So this is point number 1 that you need to understand. अब ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि only Asian Paints is going to rally and बाकी सारे stocks बैठ के तमाशा देख रहे हैं, right? That other paint stocks are not running. They will also run. Home decor stocks will also run. Something like adhesives, Pidilite हो गया, Jyoti Resins, all these companies might also run. So now it becomes your perspective, whether you want to learn slightly more about this, bet your money on it or not. So for that, let me do a very quick analysis of a couple of stocks from this segment. And maybe if you like it, then you know what, you could consider aggregating in your portfolio if your portfolio requires it. So let me quickly discuss. So let me first and foremost do a very quick technical analysis of Asian Paints, what it currently looks like. So you will see that this is a very important resistance point, this particular line that you're seeing. And here there is a pattern that is getting formed. This looks like a cup with handle, or it could be also considered as a reverse head and shoulder or a complex reverse head and shoulder here. Any way you look at it, right, here and here, if you just increase it, then the target for this comes out to be roughly 5,000. So this is a rally that could very well happen. Now, why am I saying that this rally could happen? So for this, you need to consider the fundamental data as well. So let me quickly discuss that. Is there any kind of sales problem on Asian Paints? The short answer is no. Highest ever profits, highest ever sales. It's a very low debt company, and if you consider its current PE, it is trading below its median PE. If you take a look at its median PE for the last 5 years, it was roughly 77. Right now it is trading at roughly like 65ish or something, right? So there is a very good probability that from this point, at the very least, the stock will go back to its previous high. And if you get even that much return from here to here, right, then also it's a 12-13% gain from this point, right? So what have I done with the stock? Well, I am 100%. Jitni mujhe position banani thi on Asian Paints, I'm mostly done with it. I had already purchased it at a discount. I'm at 7-8% profit already on the stock. And going forward, if I can make like 20-25% gains, then I'll be very, very happy. Why? Because Asian Paints is a slightly safe-ish bet. I'm not looking for a multi-bagger return from something like Asian Paints. But yes, if within a year I'm able to make 20-25% gain on it, very, very happy with it. I make all these announcements on my member community tab. People have been extremely happy with member community. You can go and check it out, use it for a month, see, it's a subscription-based service. Just take it for a month and see whether it's helping you or not, and you can cancel it anytime. So a while back, I was informed that this is one of the fastest growing finance communities in India, and the response has been amazing. So thank you so much for all of you. I will keep it exactly the same. I will not increase it. Many a times people ask me, free क्यों नहीं कर देते? See, free की कोई value नहीं होती, so I keep it at a very low cost. It is for serious investors who want to have serious conversation. So from that perspective, this membership has been designed. You can go and check it out. So then comes a related stock. Yeah, you know what? Asian Paints में आपका 20-25% बनेगा पैसा, right? 25%. We are like खिलाड़ी लोग. We don't feel like making 25 only. We want like 100% gains. Okay. So if you're of that viewpoint, then you need to take slightly more risk. यार बिना risk के return मिलेगा नहीं. So from that angle, you need to consider slightly more dangerous stocks. So from that perspective, Indigo Paints is one of my bets that I have purchased. I feel that this stock is also going to rise from this point. Why? Because again, if you do the same analysis, highest ever sales, highest ever profits, no problem. It is a small company compared to Asian Paints. From this point, very, very likely that it will go to like at least 21,000 crore, right? If it triples, then the stock price will have to triple at some point. So this is a very similar bet to what I had made with IDFC First Bank in the past. And IDFC First, I have almost made like 100% gains on it, right? And you can go and check some of my past videos. A similar bet I am taking on Indigo Paints. The growth here might not come that fast. It might take like 2-3 years, but I'm very happy to wait for like 100% gain over the next 3 years. So that is the vision with which I'm operating. If you want to buy another slightly more dangerous stock, right, compared to this, मैं आपको सारे options बता रहा हूँ. Now it depends on you. Which one do you want to aggregate? So that stock would be something like Jyoti Resins. This is a stock that I had spoken about earlier. The stock gave a run up and I had cut my positions on it. I have started to rebuild my positions on it, but I am buying slowly. Why is that? Let me quickly explain. So for people who do not know much about Jyoti Resins, so आप इसको ऐसे मान लो that this is the competitor of Pidilite, right? So what is Pidilite? So Pidilite बनाते हैं Fevicol, right? And we all know that Fevicol is used in what? It is used in furniture, home decor, so to say, कुछ चिपकाना चिपकूना हुआ, so it's adhesive, right? So this is a big market in India. So over the years, Pidilite has grown on to become a fairly big company, and the brand Fevicol has been the base on which Pidilite has been built. So now I'm actually into construction right now. I'm actually building my resort in Goa. So I get to speak with a lot of carpenters. I get to speak with a lot of builders. And one of the key complaints that they have is that, you know what, Fevicol has become really expensive. So as a result, uska alternate कौन प्रोड्यूस करता है उसका alternate is produced by Jyoti Resins, which is a slightly low cost product. And if you know about the construction industry right now, sand has gone up like crazy. Sand depends locally, the rates of it. Concrete, very expensive. If you take a look at RCC, very expensive. The construction permit cost has gone up. So to cut the long story short, the cost of constructing a house post-COVID has gone up by 25-30%. Now, in that respect, people are looking for every little thing on which they can cut prices and cut their construction cost, or like interior designing may cost, and whatever they can do in order to sort of sustain and still get the project done on time. So these type of products become useful, right? Because it's not as if कि आप फेविकोल का जोड़ है कि नहीं है, and फलाना ढिंगा कंपनी का जोड़ है कि नहीं है, it hardly matters. आपको चिपकाने वाला काम है, as long as हो रहा है एडिसिव का काम, you are good to go. So that is the primary USP of Jyoti Resins. Net बात ये है, right? There are a range of other adhesive products that you can go and research, and I could probably make a much more detailed video on it in case you guys want. But to cut the long story short, Jyoti Resins type of a competitor product is very much needed in the market. Now, very quickly commenting about the valuation of the company, what you would notice is that, see guys, it is a small cap company, right? How can you identify it as a small cap? So the size of the company is really small. It's a small cap company, less than 5,000 crore. These type of companies, you cannot go by valuation per se. आपको कई बार लगेगा कि what, P is like 33, it might be expensive. Yeah, even if it goes to 66, but if the company size doubles, then the P gets to like rational levels, right? So that can always happen. For small companies, it is about other things. For example, clean management hai ki nahi? Are they growing fast or not? Are they increasing their market share or not? Those things are much more important compared to just PE. Okay, so this is one. So we can't really judge the valuation of such a company. The bet that you should be taking are two things. One is that you should not be buying the stock at crazy prices. Ki bhai, all-time high on gaya, right? And like 10,000% growth and 5,000% growth on the stock, and you are buying, right? So I mean, then it's a slightly different thing. But as long as you are getting it at an okay level, you could consider it. For example, the stock has been consolidating from roughly September of 2022, almost same level, 0% return. So from a valuation point of view, nothing off. What you need to be more worried about is that how much market share are they getting? Will they be able to survive if the markets get crushed? Are they increasing their revenue sales? All those are much more important points, right? So here you can clearly see that Jyoti Resins has been doing well. No problem there. Small cap hai, risk is higher. So yeah, you make your bet whether you want to buy like Jyoti Resins, Asian Paints, Indigo Paints. But if you are betting on paint / adhesive / home decor market, then these are the stocks that you could potentially consider. Okay, so now comes the second category of stock, which would be real estate stocks. Now see guys, I'll be transparent with you. I do not invest a lot of money in real estate stocks. Why is that? Because I directly buy real estate. For me, that is a much more fruitful investment. I invest a lot of money, invest a lot of time in learning about real estate, learning about returns, how to optimize returns, how to create cash flows out of it. So this is active time that I'm investing in real estate. I really enjoy about learning about real estate, stocks, vagera, vagera. It's fun for me, right? From that perspective. So I typically do not put a lot of brain behind like real estate stocks per se, right? So whatever I'm saying, I will give you a general perspective here. See, what is going to happen next is one major thing, right? This has less to do with festive season, but might happen during festive season. So this is a news that has come, and it says that by Q4 of 2023, Morgan Stanley predicts that inflation in Asia is moderating and central banks in the region are likely to cut interest rates. Now, if in Q4 of 2023, the interest rates are cut, then what is going to happen? For example, जो home loan आपको मिलता था at 10%, it might come down to 8%, 7.5%. Then are you more likely to buy a home? The short answer is yes. Now, if the demand for homes pick up, then who is going to offload the inventory? They are the real estate companies that are going to offload the inventory. I have no real estate to sell to you. I just literally do like real estate on my own. So I'm started to get a lot of messages कि हमें बता दो real estate में कैसे करना. So I do not know, neither am I a builder. I'm just building my project. So I'm just giving you practical experience from that. Now see, the reason why I personally do not invest in real estate stocks is very simple, that I don't trust builders much, because वो उल्टे सीधे दामों पे बेच बाच जाते हैं, right? They are very heavily debt oriented people. There are like host of problems that can happen, but with this major trigger of interest rate cuts, there will be more demand for housing. No doubt about that. Especially you might have seen recently in Mumbai, Bangalore, the prices of real estate as a rent has gone up like crazy. Then there has been 2x, 3x increase in rent. If you go as a bachelor male and willing to pay like 3x, 4x also, then chances are that you might not end up getting it for a wide variety of reasons. But anyways, we are going off topic. But I hope you got the perspective that see, there is benefit to aggregating real estate or real estate stocks. I am not doing it. I explained you why. Now, in case you are looking to invest in real estate stocks, host of options, please look at something like Godrej Properties. It's a good company. I do not know when I'm going to buy it. If you guys want, I will analyze the stock further. But I'm just using Godrej Properties as an example because it's a clean, good company. Godrej Group, good brand to protect all this stuff. So you can go and study that stock further. Now, in case you are like me that you want to buy real estate directly, let me know. I'll make a separate video on how to buy real estate. I will tell you updated viewpoint on that. Or you could also consider buying category number 3 stocks, which are likely to do well during the festive season, which are banks. Now, think about it this way that see, if interest rates are cut and people avail more houses or try to buy more houses, whom are they going to take loans from? Banks. Okay. Today, Nitin Kamath issued a statement saying that, you know what, fintech ke liye sabse bada competition is that the biggest competition for fintech are physical branches of the bank. Why? Because they can sell insurance, they can sell like mutual funds, they can sell duniya bhar ki cheezein. So yes, that is very true, right? Think about it this way that there were a bunch of internet companies, or rather edtech ka example pakad lo aap, Byju's and Academy and all that. कहाँ से आए थे? They were saying कि भाई साहब, you know what, tuition center चलते हैं, we are going to like, you know, digitize it, we are going to teach you like this better, that better. कहाँ पे आ गए वापस? Byju tuition center, Unacademy tuition center, right? वापस they have gone back to physical. So banks which have built branches, they are going to go up like crazy. They are going to mint a lot of money. Everything is going to get sold from them. When will they move a lot more money? When the interest rate cut happens. And now I feel that that is getting factored into the market. Now, in the past, I have spoken quite extensively that my bets on HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Bank. My Kotak Bank bet hasn't played out yet, but hopefully it will. PSU banks have started to give a lot of run up already. Small finance bank have done really well for me. Now, in case you are sitting on the sidelines and thinking, yaar, festive season mein which bank should I be buying? So please go and watch this finance video where I've spoken about best finance stocks. You will understand more. And then understand this central point. Let's see. Bank is such a big and prominent sector. Everyone understands that banks are going to do likely well. So what do operators do? They will move one segment of the bank first. For example, they might say, you know, HDFC ho gaya, ICICI ho gaya, Kotak ho gaya, badhana hi nahi hai, right? We will just make it die, look like that it's a dead stock for 6 months. Nothing will happen on this stock. And that is what is happening as of now in this segment. On the flip side, small finance bank has given so much run up, right? For example, I have Equitas or G1 Small Finance. And if you check the run up of these stocks, really good run up that has happened. So comes the natural question, at this stage, should we buy like small finance bank or should we go with traditional banks? So my advice would be that buy what is undervalued. Don't unnecessarily pay high premiums just to enter into a theme that you're bullish on. That is one of the worst mistakes that you can make, and it will just simply destroy your wealth. So please don't make that mistake. So in this respect, I would say that blue chip large cap banks have not done well. For example, HDFC, Kotak, all this stuff have not done well. They have done fairly poorly despite the results being extremely good. So there has been nothing wrong with the results. These are very, very likely to do well, right? So this is point one. Public sector banks, some have given massive run up. For example, Punjab National Banks did really well. So I had booked some profits on it recently. I made the announcement also in member community section, and I rotated that capital into something like Bank of Baroda. Why? Because Sunny Deol se wo log loan vasoolne wale. Yes, that's one of the smaller reasons. But to cut the long story short, Bank of Baroda hasn't given that much of a run up. Something like Canara Bank hasn't given too much of a run up. So I think here you need to be slightly more selective. When it comes to microfinance institutes, small finance bank, then this is a slightly riskier bet. I would say something like Bandhan Bank at this stage is still okay. Why? Because they are expanding quite aggressively. For example, take a look at this particular snippet and I will flash it in front of you. And this is the interview of their CEO. What you would notice is that Bandhan Bank is focusing a lot on their housing finance portfolio. With the interest rate cut, this part of their portfolio is going to grow even faster. Final point, take a look at this snippet. What you will notice is that the rural demand seems to be strengthening. And in which segment does Bandhan Bank operate? rural segment, tier 2, tier 3 type of segment. So this segment is really important for Bandhan Bank. Bandhan Bank seems to be doing well. If you keep a slightly wider viewpoint and aggregate and build your position slowly, then Bandhan Bank is likely to do well. So let's speak about the fourth segment, where I will speak about e-commerce / luxury segment companies. So see, most of the e-commerce players in India are unfortunately loss makers. Okay, so there's no point in going there. I would rather pick my bets on something like Amazon because of that Santa Claus rally. Amazon is still undervalued in my opinion. Last 6 months, it has given 40-45 odd % return. Really good. I've been holding it in my portfolio. I'm buying more of it. Why? Because one of the surprises has happened. This is something that I discussed on my Hindi channel. I will put the entire link to that video in the description and comment box. You can go and check that entire commentary. But very, very quickly, a positive surprise has happened for Amazon. So Amazon makes money primarily from 3 verticals. One is retail, one is cloud, one is AI. Okay. And in retail, what type of thing? This will be like Amazon Prime. You might be seeing that they have started to run ad. Bhaiya, movie dekhne mein aate ho, ad chala diya, and all that stuff. So in retail segment, there has been a positive surprise for Amazon, because in the last couple of years, no one really thought that Amazon is going to start making a lot more money from its retail segment. They thought that e-commerce is stagnating. So khatam, Amazon profitability growth will not that be great. But the retail segment has started to really give positive results for Amazon. Why? Because of the ad business. Now they are starting to take market share away from 2 primary players. One is Google and one is Facebook / Meta. And according to some analysts, by 2030, Amazon is going to have roughly 12 to 13% share in the ad segment, right? So this is very big positive news for Amazon. And that is one of the triggers for growth for Amazon. Now, everyone was already bullish on Amazon's cloud business, but this was a B2B where they used to sell directly to businesses. So this segment is going well. It had already been doing well. So यहाँ पे कोई problem है ही नहीं. And AI commercialization is going to benefit companies like Amazon the most. So no matter how you see it, Amazon is going to do well going forward in the future. If you are taking a 5-year bet, this is not really a festive season stock per se, but if you're taking a 5-year bet on some company, then Amazon is a very solid stock from that angle. Now, if you're looking to make an e-commerce India buy, then I don't know if we can categorize this as e-commerce, but my bet will be on something like Vedant Fashion / Manewar. Now, why am I calling it an e-commerce player? Basically, it's like D2C, right? Direct to consumer. See, right now their e-commerce / direct retailing via website might not be that prominent. Okay. But going forward, they can do it. Why? Because you might have initially noticed, right? So I got married in 2018. I also did like Manewar shopping only, right? मैं एक दिन में गया इन 4 function के लिए कपड़े खरीद लाया. My wife, it took her 2 months for wedding shopping. Now, if she would be watching this video, I'll get killed. But yes, on a more serious note. So see, what I was trying to tell you is that see, in 2018, I myself shopped at Manewar. And at that time, Manewar used to have like luxury items only, right? Average luxury. Luxury, there's no definition. But for example, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 Sherwani type you wear, right? So that is basic stuff. Now what is happening in 2023 is that Manewar, if you just simply go and look, they are in luxury segment doing really well, but also they have introduced like a mid-tier segment, so to say. कि उनके ना 2,500-3,000 वाले segment भी start हो गई, around 2 to 3K, right? So there is good profit to be made in both these segments, and Manewar is playing the game really, really well. मोहे उन्होंने निकाल दिया, लड़कियों वाला निकाल दिया है. So this entire premiumization economy by creating sub-brands is something that Manewar or / Vedant Fashion is doing really, really well. It's already a net positive company. You can see that sales have been going up, no problem in sales whatsoever, right? And December quarter की sales आप देखना, इसको इससे compare मत करना, right? December 2022 March, this is like a festive season stock, so more stuff Manewar के ये वो ज़्यादा बिकते हैं, okay? So anyways, it's a net profitable company. Now, if you go back to technicals, what you will notice is that this stock here, and it IPO'd fairly recently only, here it was in a downtrend, नीचे जा रहा है, right? And यहाँ पे it consolidated over the last several months, right? So the entire year so far it has been consolidating. So this seems like a very strong resistance zone. So it's very, very likely that, so from this point, how much can it rally? It can easily rally up to like 20-25%. Net, it's a stable business. I don't think that massive sales fluctuation hongi, because this is a brand building game. They have a pricing power. They are not undercutting or playing on price. They are playing on that premiumization. good solid stock in my opinion. It's again a fairly recently listed business. So of course there are risks. I'm not saying that this is a risk-free stock, but overall net solid business to begin. So okay, so let me discuss one final stock very quickly. I actually wanted to do a deep dive on this, but unfortunately I'll run out of time. So this stock is Titan, and as I said that many of you might be excited that gold jewelry kharid lete hain, this, that. Okay, so see guys, first and foremost, you need to understand that from COVID low, how much this company has given run up. So it has given almost 300% run up. This is a large cap company. It's not as if that this is a tiny company. It has given a lot of run up. Point number one. Point number two, even if you take a look at it from a pre-COVID height, right? So pre-COVID height, then also it has given a lot of run up, right? So roughly 150% run up, which is very strong run up, so to say. So now comes the natural question, ki bhai, kyun, right? Why has it given so much run up? Has the sales gone up dramatically? So the short answer is yes, that sales have gone up, but then you need to go a level deeper that, okay, why have sales gone up so much? Okay, because the gold prices have gone up, right? Almost 80%, 90% business for Titan comes through what? Through the selling of jewelry. This is part A. Now, if they are selling jewelry, then what does jewelry sales depends on? Well, it depends on the gold price of jewelry, right? So for example, when people go and buy, or at least हमारी मम्मियाँ जब खरीदती हैं, उनका क्या पर्सपेक्टिव होता है? कितने पे भी मिलेगी jewelry? We are going to buy it. Why? Because gold है. Gold कभी गिरता ही नहीं है. So महंगी भी हो रही होगी, then also they are going to buy. So you are talking about a customer segment which is buying on special occasions, वगैरह वगैरह. So anyways, to cut the long story short, what has happened in very simple terms is that in this entire zone, the gold prices itself have gone up quite dramatically, right? Now, as gold prices go up, so let's imagine that if some gold piece of jewelry used to cost 1 lakh rupee, okay, so in 2020, now by 2023, this in itself has gone up to 150, right? Now, how would Tanishq or Titan or any jeweler make money? Well, they make money on percentage basis, that they will charge X% as making charges, or at the time of selling gold to them or buying gold from them, they will charge X% on that. So the more the gold prices go up, the more they are going to benefit. That is a simple message that I wanted to give out. Now from this stage, if you feel that gold prices are going to go up like this, then of course you can go and buy, right? Then it is likely that bahut run up aa jayega isme bhi. Here is the chart for gold as to what rate the gold prices have gone up in India in the last 3 years. You can see for yourself that it has gone up by a lot. I'm not saying that Titan is a bad stock. It is a very good stock, but honestly, a lot of run up has happened from this stage. Expecting it to grow at the same rate as it has grown in the last 2-3 years, that is a little bit of a risky bet in my opinion. A lot of it has been tied to gold. On top of this, if you take a look at the industry outlook of gold jewelry in India, the growth rate is very slow. It is roughly 5.5%. It is not even growing at the rate of the general economy also. So I would typically avoid this at this juncture, especially when so much run up has happened. But yes, if I get it at a very good price, then I might consider buying it. Now, in case you're interested in learning about other stocks that are likely to give a run up, one of my biggest bets has been in the finance sector. So do go and check out this particular video. It will give you more idea about what type of stocks you could consider adding to your portfolio. Thank you so much for watching, and also check out Growth School. I will see you soon.